do not need to own the new Patrick Ta transition blushes to tell you that they're a waste of your money, especially when another makeup artist does it better. Because black women and black makeup artists too do not get the credit that they deserve.
This week, the internet has been set ablaze with the fallout between celebrity makeup artist Painted by Esther and business mogul makeup artist Patrick Ta. For years now, Painted by Esther has been growing her following and her influence on social media by creating these beautiful makeup looks. She's been doing that since I've seen from about 2019, and since then she's been growing her audience and her clientele list by just creating these flawless, beautiful looks. One of her key makeup looks, of course, is the heavy blush, which she called the transition blush. It also looks like a gradient blush to me. She's known for that look, and she's done it on an array of celebrities, but in the past year, she's been getting a lot of notability and her looks have been going viral thanks to her collaboration with Love Island star Alandria. So that's Painted by Esther. Great. She's been doing her looks, as I said, I think from around 2018. Patrick Ta is a business mogul and celebrity makeup artist as well. He is best known for his glow within look. In this past week, he launched a new blush set. I don't want to go on too much about this because the video is not about makeup. But anyway, let's talk. He created a blush set and copyrighted the term transition blush. That's the issue because, as we just spoke about, Painted by Esther has popularized the transition blush technique. She doesn't claim to have created it, but she definitely took inspiration and made it her own. Patrick Ta, on the other hand, has his own look and his own style, which is just as beautiful, but it's not the transition blush technique. And him having trademarked that terminology that Painted by Esther uses for something that he didn't popularize or create is problematic. And in this video, I want to use this as an example as to how creators and artists can better protect themselves. If you've seen my videos before, you know that I've worked in the brand partnership space for almost a decade, and a part of my job is to read contracts from brands and contracts from creators. And in a lot of the contracts or agreement terms that I see for creators, it's very evident and clear that a lot of people do not know how to cover themselves, their brand, their work, their art, and I wanted to discuss that on this video today, as it's important to know that brands are ruthless. They will do what they need to do to jump on a trend that's already been popularized by creators online, and they will do everything in their power not to pay you for it. It's late stage capitalism for you. So let's get into these quick tips about how you can protect yourself and your art online as best as possible. In order to fight back, it's important to know the law and how it works in your favor and how you can protect your work. So let's break down the intellectual property toolkit, which includes copyright, trademarks, and the limits of protecting your work and techniques. So let's talk about copyright. From the moment you create digital art, a video, music, a design that you've posted online, that is your copyright. So ultimately, copyright protects your expression. If a brand decides to come and download your video and use it on their own pages, or use your art designs as designs on their own brands and t-shirts, then that is copyright infringement. The issue today with social media is that if you actually go in and read the terms and conditions, and I say social media, but it is specific platforms. If you go in and read the terms and conditions, there is fair usage copyright, where usually if you agree to post your content online, then you also agree for other people to be able to download your content and use it within fair copyright usage. However, as you know, on platforms like TikTok and YouTube, there are options where you can opt for people not to be able to download your work. And there is also the DMCA. It's a takedown notice that you can utilize on any social media platform if you see someone else using your work. So often people will say on social media, they've got a copyright strike. That's because the company who they potentially copyrighted from, whether it's music or a piece of a video, they've enacted the DMCA law or clause to have that content taken down. So remember that, Google that, just in case you see your work on somebody else's platform. Secondly, we have trademarks, and this is where Patrick Tar in this whole situation gets shady. Trademarks do not, and I repeat, do not protect your art, but they do protect your commercial identity. They usually protect brand names, product names, slogans, logos, things of that nature. So with Patrick Tar trademarking the transitional blush name, he didn't trademark the idea or the technique itself, but trademarking that name now means that Painted by Esther can no longer use the terminology transition blush, even though that's what she's been using for years now. So you see how that's out of order. It really is gatekeeping the innovator or creator of something out of what they created. Very, very shady. And while people are saying that Painted by Esther should have trademarked the transitional blush idea and name, let's talk about the honest truth about trademarking techniques and your ideas. I'm going to read this one so I don't get it wrong, and laws change from country to country, so it's best to check copyright and trademark laws in your country, but generally they're all pretty similar. So in the US, the law generally states that procedures, systems, and methods of operation cannot be copyrighted or trademarked. So while you can't trademark or patent the technique or idea itself, you can protect the unique brand identity that you create around it, which is kind of what Patrick Tar has done. So yeah, a lot of people have said Esther should have trademarked the transition blush, the name in itself, which she should have done. But for you as a creator, if you see you have something that is picking up steam, trademark it in an intent to use trademark. Therefore, if any other brand or any other creator taps into the brand that you are building around the technique or building around an idea, then you've got a leg to stand on if they try to come for you and copy you. So protecting yourself isn't just about paperwork, it's about the boundaries that you set around yourself, around your content, and around your business. And as I said at the beginning, a lot of my job is reading contracts and agreements, and these brands will not protect you, so it's important you know what you're looking for and what you need to ask for to enable that you are putting up those safe boundaries so your work is protected. Say no to casual recording. This is something, again, that has come up in the fallout between Patrick Tar, and I feel like I've been saying Patrick Tar and Patrick Star interchangeably throughout this video. I hope not. Oh my God. But yeah, this is something that's come up in the fallout between the two makeup artists. Painted by Esther had said that a member of Patrick Tar's team, or maybe a co-founder, asked her to come in and do a makeup look on her, but asked her also film. Esther put up clear boundaries. She's like, no, that's a completely different service. Either I do your makeup or we're doing a masterclass. We're not mixing the two, and no, you can't record me doing your makeup. So always kind of be aware and protect your work. People shouldn't be asking you to do one job and then also filming you. Implement kill fees and usage rights. Never ever do specific work and hand over raw files before a contract and agreement is in place. Your contracts must explicitly state for how long and where specific brands can use your content, the agreed content that you are providing for them. For instance, if they want to move your TikTok video to a YouTube ad, they have to pay for that. They have to make sure that they are paying you adequately for the service that you have provided. They can't just take your video from one platform to another without consulting you and without paying you. So always make sure those terms are clear in your contract and that the deliverables are clear. Now, I'm not a fan of gatekeeping, but when it comes to protecting yourself, protecting your work, do not give away your why for free. It's great to post tutorials or masterclasses. Even me, I'm giving you guys information for free. But for an extra fee, you can get a deeper consultancy where we actually look at contracts. I teach you what to look out for, what certain wording means, where you can find certain documentation to help you. Right now, I'm giving you part of the information for free, but the actual deeper and real value is behind the paywall. But it is important to keep your deep dive or key industrial secrets behind a monetized paywall, because those things are more valuable than you realize. They're valuable to an audience and they're definitely valuable to a brand. So if you're putting everything online for free, trust and believe there is a brand manager an entrepreneur, a CEO somewhere scouring the internet, looking for the new hot trending thing that they can jump on, steal, and monetize.
I am Painted by Esther, and I'm going to be teaching you how to achieve my melted flush blush technique.
My updated pink under eye techniques.
But please remember, just because something is behind the paywall also doesn't mean that you are protected. Make sure your documentations, your courses, your art classes are copyrighted and that brand identity is trademarked. Okay, so let's get highly practical now. You need to have a digital armory. What is that? Obviously today we live in a digital age. So watermark your work. Establish a digital trail of ownership. And this doesn't mean posting online. For instance, there is a creator, I can't remember her name now, but I'll try and put some clips up, who she creates fitness wear. And places like Shein or whatever are constantly stealing her ideas. But she's got her sketches where she's had them accredited and watermarked. So when she has to go in and file a complaint, they can see that her sketches were stamped 10 years ago, where Shein just released it last week. So she's got a leg to stand on. That's the trail that you need. And you can definitely do that online with watermarks and dates, and you can upload it and it will stay there just in case you need it for the future. If you are posting things on social media, have your logo and watermark on your work. It could be a video, a picture. If you are creating and innovating something, definitely have your logo on there and make sure your logo is trademarked. And finally, look at automated monitoring tools. I've seen so many stories where there's been designers who have been making and creating, and then they realize, oh, my product's been on so-and-so website for a year, and they've had no idea that another company has been profiting off of their idea for 12 whole months. Don't just rely on your followers and your community to stumble across your work on another platform. There are tools you can use to actually help you. Set up Google Alerts for your brand name, your slogans, content titles, or specific catchphrases that you use for your brand. For visual artists, run regular reverse image searches. Put your image online and see if it appears anywhere that you haven't put it. And definitely leverage platforms reporting ecosystems. So if you do see your work on a platform where it shouldn't be, go and complain to TikTok, go and complain to Google, go and complain to YouTube, and use those procedures to help take it down. And I know TikTok is actually quite bad for taking down content that belongs to other creators, but it's important that you use their ecosystem and file a complaint so that if it needs to go further and goes to court, you've got a record of that. As an artist, as a creator, when it comes to this whole protecting your rights thing, you have to move like a business, because brands definitely are, and they will steal your idea in a heartbeat and then drain your pockets in court if you try to sue them without any backing and any evidence. And last but not least is the power of community auditing. With this whole Patrick Tar and Painted by Esther fiasco, the launch of Patrick Tar's transition blushes has been a mess and a shambles. Number one, the reviews coming back aren't necessarily that great. People are like, okay, it's a blush, whatever, but it's been done before and you don't need to buy this particular product in order to achieve the Painted by Esther look. But really what's damaged this rollout for Patrick Tar is Painted by Esther's community. They automatically clocked that he was copying her technique that she's been doing for so long, and they're the ones that flooded his comments with, why haven't you credited her? Why did you not partner up with her? They're the ones that have found videos of him doing his own version of her looks in past videos that he's done. They're the ones that found all of that. They're the ones that are in her comments, backing her up and pushing her content and her name even more. So like I always say, it's important to have a connection with your community. So a lot of her followers felt seen, a lot of her followers felt that this is a new era for us, and that built a strong connection and strong relationship, which is why so many women now are backing her, and it's ruining everything that Patrick Tar is trying to do. So I hope all these tips were helpful to you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Share if you know any artists or creators who may need to hear this, and I will see you again. Oh my God, can you like and subscribe as well, please? Thank you if you made it to the end. And I will speak to you all on another video. Bye.